Hi folks, it's still nearly bedtime, so I'll just do this one. Okay, tell me of a generation that was self-aware. Any generation? During Jewish history, during the Catholic Church, during the Anglican Church, the Baptist Church, Pentecostal Church. Yeah. Is there a generation that were that self-aware that they were falling away from God all the time, or abusing people in church all the time? Is there a generation that actually going to God about that and realizing that that was true about themselves? Any? Has there been any generation at all where that's been the case? No. Not one. That we know of, there hasn't even been one. We can read the Old Testament. We can see how the people kept on going away from God. But at no point in time were the people self-aware. So why on earth do we think that we would be? See what I mean? The stupidity of it. We think they weren't self-aware, but we think we would have been. We think we would be if we were doing that. We would be self-aware. Because we have the balances and checks. What, they didn't? The balances and checks were the people. They were the ones who were checking that, if everything was right or not. They believed everything was right. Every generation were thinking they were doing exactly what God wanted them to do. Every generation has believed that. See, this is the point. The devil, he doesn't need to work hard. He doesn't. The devil doesn't need to work hard in any way, shape or form to get the church to go away from God. He just needs to let them do it. He just needs to say, get on with it. Yeah, I'll just leave you to it. You're going to do it yourselves anyway. I said to God about, helping the church to realise, or, whatever, or doing something against the church. God said, I don't need to. They're going to do that damage themselves. It's the same as people. Same as I've had neighbours who are incredibly abusive and nasty. I've asked God to do something against them so they would realise, and God said there's no point. If it happened, they wouldn't realise anyway. And that's always true. People always want to think of themselves as, I've said before, we had the newspapers years ago, and I knew what utter crap these newspapers were. The Sun, the Star, the Daily Mail and all this rubbish. They were utter crap. Because a lot of their stories were about looking down at other people and making you think, at least I'm not as bad as they are. And making you think you're better than you actually are. That was the case for all those years. That was always the case. It happened all the time. And it's been going on in society for so long now that, as I say, every nation thinks they're better than most other nations, don't they? They always look down on somebody, don't they? Even though they might be the worst nation in the world, they'd always find some other nation to look down upon. It'd be a neighbour, one of their neighbours. They look down on them for some reason, wouldn't they? Always to make themselves look better in their own eyes, so they don't have to sort out their own issues. It's like you've got Saudi Arabia blaming America, or other countries in the area blaming America for this and that, for stopping them, doing this and that. Come on. That's complete rubbish. Again, that's about not sorting your own situation out. You can... Okay. It doesn't matter what America's doing. It doesn't. It only matters what they're doing if you allow them to do it and you allow them to have that power to stop you. And countries do that. They allow other countries to have the power to stop them. But again, sorry. You have to give them that power. But they do. They do that. It's human nature. This is the point. We've been playing the same stupid games for a long time. But people now seem to think, that they're better and they wouldn't make the same mistakes as people in the past made, even though they do exactly that. It's just doing the same crap over and 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 over again. And thinking somehow you're different, somehow you're better, somehow, you're providing something more of worth than people did in the past. Based on what? I don't know. I have no idea at all. Based on what? No idea. Based on nothing. It really is based on nothing, because it's not true. It's just what people say, and it's just what people have been saying for so long. And it's never been true. But there you go. We are where we are. Yeah. We're in the situation that we're in right now. And again, that's what I don't try and show myself as better than other people. And the reason why is because I realised just how much full of folly that would be. I know that I muck up. I know that I make mistakes. I know that I'm not as I need to be yet. And I say that all the time. I speak about my own frustration about my walk because I know other people are going to be frustrated, or should be. If you're not frustrated, then you need to ask yourself some questions as to why you're not. Because you absolutely and totally should be. But there you go. It's not about judging people that aren't or that are. It's not about judging people at all. So, there you go. We are just another generation saying the same thing.